beneficiaries shall sell, transfer, or convey the land awarded to him within the period of 10 years, except to his heirs, to the government, or to the Land Bank of the Philippines or LBP. Any transfer in violation in said provision is deemed null and void.
If the land has not yet been paid for the beneficiary, the rights of the land may be transferred or conveyed, with prior approval of the DAR, to any heir of the beneficiary who, as a condition for such transfer or conveyance, shall cultivate the land himself. Failing compliance herewith, land shall be transferred to the LBP, which shall give due notice to the availability of the land in the manner specified to the immediately preceding paragraph.
These farmers pay in cash as rent for their use of the land. The rent is usually computed per hectare of land.
Here is an example of cash tenants. If we have 3 hectares of land and 1 hectare of land is equivalent to 10,000 pesos, then we multiply 3 hectares of land by 10,000 pesos, resulting in 30,000 pesos per year.
These farmers give the owner of the land a share of their harvest products as agreed upon beforehand. These tenants will include those who raise livestock or poultry to the landowner on condition that the latter will get a share of the product.
For example, we have 20 sacks of palay per hectare. If we have 3 hectares of land, then we multiply 20 sacks of palay by 3 hectares of land. Therefore, we have a total of 60 sacks of palay.
These farmers pay the landowner a combination of cash payments and a fixed portion of the harvest agreed beforehand by both parties.
For example, rental is 10,000 pesos equals 20 sacks of palay. That means that the farmer shall pay the landowner 50% in cash and 50% in produced products.
These farmers pay rent in the form of a fixed quantity of the harvest agreed upon by the tenant and the owner. The tenant is obliged to pay the rent whether their harvest is bountiful or not.
For example, 1/3 or 33% of the produced products is intended to the landowner after deducting all the allowable deductions for fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides, because the landowner and the tenant had an agreement beforehand. Assuming that the tenant had harvested a total of 100 sacks of palay and is working for 3 hectares of land, 100 sacks multiplied by 1/3 is equals to 33 sacks. 33 sacks multiplied by 3 hectares is 99 sacks. Therefore, the tenant is obliged to pay 99 sacks of palay per year as his rent payment to the landowner.
These farmers pay rent for using the land in a combination of cash payment and fixed portion of the harvest agreed beforehand whether the harvest is bountiful or not. Here, the tenants are obliged to pay, unlike number 3.
For example, if the rental is 10,000 pesos is equals 20 sacks of palay, 50% in cash and another 50% for fixed amount produced tenants. Cash payments, therefore, are 5,000 pesos and 10 sacks of palay per hectare. 5,000 pesos times 3 hectares is equals to 15,000 pesos, and 10 sacks of palay times 3 hectares is equals to 30 sacks of palay. Therefore, the tenant is obliged to pay 15,000 pesos and 30 sacks of palay as his rent payment to the landowner.
These farmers who are tilling the land with the consent of the landowner without having to pay rent in cash or in kind.
This usually happens when the landowner and the tenants or farmers are personal acquaintances or when one has a favor to grant to the other.
At the onset of CARP implementation in 1988, about 10.3 million hectares of agricultural lands have been initially targeted for acquisition for a period of 10 years. Of these lands, 63% is under jurisdiction of the DENR or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. The remaining 37% is under the CARP lands of under jurisdiction of the Department of Agrarian Reform or the DAR. The DAR is responsible for the acquisition and distribution of public or the private agricultural lands, commonly the compensable lands, and the non-private agricultural lands, or mostly the non-compensable such as settlements, landed estates, and KKK lands. On the other hand, the DNR is responsible for the public or the acquisition and distribution of the public alienable and disposable lands and mostly covered by the ISF or the Integrated Social Forestry Program.